Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and we're back on the AAP series, and in this video we're looking at the mini Mamba kit from TTI Airsoft. So on my original Action Army AAP-01, I had the Mamba slide, which was the big one, which was a beautiful, say slide, top receiver. It doesn't slide, does it? But I had a beautiful Mamba receiver and I loved it, but the problem with it was it made the pistol massive. Not as big as some pistols, but it really was a big pistol, especially if you wanted to fit like a lighter or a little laser or anything like that. It was quite cumbersome, probably one of the reasons why I never continued to use it. However, TTI Airsoft have brought out a Mamba upper, but it's a mini Mamba upper, and when I saw this on WGC, which is where I had it from, was like, at the time I was about to order something else for the MDR, and I thought, why not, let's chuck one of them on the order as well. It didn't take too long to get here. Did sit with UPS for a week, you know, because got to pay that idiot tax. So inside the box we have one very similar packaging to the Action Army stuff as well. We have one little wrap here. This was sealed, obviously I've just opened it to make sure everything was there, and we have the mini Mamba upper receiver, and this thing is beautiful, and I love the fact they've put 2LR markings on it, because obviously that's what the real pistols fire, sorry. And the great thing about this is completely CNC machined, and the machine on it is lovely, especially when in comparison with the CTM stuff. The finish on this thing is absolutely superb as well. You also get iron sights with it, you get a thread protector, you get obviously a little manual to tell you what everything is and how to fit it, and you also get this little bracket and a few little bits and pieces, which, to be honest, I was really surprised about. I didn't obviously look at the listing, obviously, when I bought it, didn't know it came with this, and this is actually a really cool little thing that they include. So I knew I was going to be building this upper. As you'll see, it's much smaller than the current one. So I did buy some parts ahead of time. I was originally going to use the standard bolt and just, you know, sort of minimise how many parts I needed to purchase to replace, but I did forget one part, which I'll get into in a moment. So I bought a Coco nozzle set, and then I also bought another Coco bolt, this time in gold. I actually bought this in the UK, I think I had it from Fire Sport, and this was like nearly £70. Quite ridiculous if you ask me. I think I'll stick to buying those parts from overseas. So what we'll do, I'm going to be using some of the parts from the original set. I'll also have the standard hop and barrel just to put in there for now. I will get another Loki for it, as well as a barrel. I need to sort of put this in, make an adjustment, and then measure the barrel to see what size I need. And you know, this one's sort of built to do semi and full auto, and it's, you know, nice and rapid. This one's going to be more of a less crazy build. I'm probably only going to use semi-auto in this, but yeah, I've got these little bits here. I'll be able to see as well, because I've heard mixed reviews on these nozzle sets as well. So we'll be able to do some testing on this. Obviously, you get I've got the set which comes with the nozzle. You get the piston head, the little cut there, valve spring, valve, and of course a pin to hold everything in place. They've gone with this weird beige colour, not the colour I would choose, but each to their own, I suppose. So we'll quickly put this together here. That went in nice and easy. Now we need to pop this pin in. I'm doing this now because it's probably going to be the easiest part. Just going to pop that through. I've just pushed the valve down, pop that through, and then we can pop this pin in. And then what we'll do, I'll just quickly tap that. And I'm just tapping that just slightly below the surface, just so it doesn't catch one of the internal parts there. So we have the upper. It's got an LLV marking on there. We've got 2LR on this side. Those are the only markings. Got a nice top rail here, so if you want to be putting on any optics, red dots, anything like that, you can do. It's a very snub nose receiver here, but the quality of the iron sights and such. And one in my last video, someone commented on my hands. Obviously, I do work with my hands in my main trade, so they're always a bit grubby and a bit scratched up. But we also have a psychopathic kitten with razor sharp teeth, so he likes to chew on my hands. It normally doesn't bother me, but then the next day it just looks like this, so that's why. So you've got an adjustable iron sight at the back here, and you've got a fibre up front. I really do like these sights, actually, they're quite cool. And I think what you can do is you can remove the front sight, and there's a bolt in here which holds the inner part of the barrel in place. But we don't actually need to do that to fit the hop. So what else does this come with? It comes with all these little bits here, which makes converting your standard hop into a TDC hop. So this bracket and everything goes on here. I'm going to do it in just a moment. And then it uses like an AEG style nub to apply pressure. And then there's actually a thread in the top of the receiver there where you fit a little grub screw. So we're going to take this apart and show you how to do it. So we need a little Phillips screwdriver. And the whole reason I'm taking this apart now is because I'm going to remove the arm. I think that's what you're meant to do anyway. Let's just double check. Yeah. So it asks you to remove the wheel, the secondary wheel, and the arm that's inside. It also asks you to remove the O-ring on the front of the barrel, which is probably just so it goes through the outer barrel. So we removed all these screws off here. I'm going to pull the hop unit apart here, like so. And we're just going to remove that arm, that metal arm that applies pressure. And we're going to fit it back together. So if you're looking down on the hop unit like this, we've got the standard screw top right, a standard screw on the bottom there. We've got another standard hop screw at the bottom towards the front. And then this is where it gets a little bit different. So you have the hop arm and a little nub there. This then fits into the housing supplied, like so. So that goes in. The AG nub they've given you is solid, there's no hole in it, so it is going to apply good pressure. You could obviously fit probably like a Prometheus. It's got like the cutouts for like a Prometheus flat tensioner or something similar. We then place this on the hop unit like that. We take the longer screw provided in the kit, we pop that through the top hole. We do it like that, and this has now converted your standard hop up into a TDC hop up. First thing we need to do is take this O-ring off the front of the barrel here, and then all we do is we can actually slip it in like this, line that up with the two holes, and get this fitted. So I do have some extra screws from Hadron. I think these are the high tension hot mount screws, yeah. So that's good, we've got those. And this is why I haven't fitted them up till now, because I knew I might need them. So we've got 1 and 2. And of course, before you head down to the comments below, I know the barrel's sticking out, I know it looks a little bit stupid. Just imagine it's not there, because I'm obviously going to have to measure this and then trim this barrel down. Then eventually I'll fit a low key and an upgraded barrel of some kind, but I'm going to need the size. Once that's in place, we can get the TDC grub screw, and then we can place that through the top of the receiver, and we'll see this apply some hop. Eventually. Right, I can feel the tension there now. There you go. You can see the hop coming on. And there you have a TDC hop fitted, or included with the kit, which I think is absolutely remarkable. They didn't need to do that, but they have done, and it's a welcome invite. So if you are using standard parts, you've now got standard parts that perform and adjust a lot easier, and there's no modification involved. So that's fitted all there nice and neatly. We'll obviously package up these old parts. Always nice to have spares. So put that to one side. Then we're going to have to build a bolt for this thing. So we do have various bits and bobs. I'm going to need some new parts from Hadrian with these bolts and stuff, but we'll get to that eventually. I also want to pick up the metal plate which sits on the front of the bolt as well. So we have our cup, and what we can do before we do that is we can use our 1 pen from Jaeger, obviously me. This has caused a bit of fuss recently. A guy in China reckoned I was copying his thing. He was not the first to do this. He does have a pen that's similar to this. I honestly didn't know he even existed before I did this. I actually got the idea from someone in the automotive industry with these things, and they use it for like quick touch-ins and stuff and water-based paints. But there's actually a company in the US that's done something similar long ago. So this guy started chasing me. I had all of his fans and his followers, because he's a YouTuber, start leaving me 1-star reviews on Google on my business page. And basically it was all to do with the pen, I think. He said it wasn't that. But if I had released this grease, in a pot, like many other companies do, I don't think it would have been an issue. Once we discussed and said the pen was nothing new, he obviously agreed, and then he reckoned that I was stealing his grease. Yeah, because I just hopped on a plane to China just to steal your grease, mate. Get over yourself. Because the grease was orange, but Jaeger 1 isn't orange, it's pink. So yeah, but if it's going to cause an issue, I work with a company in the UK to produce one, and the whole thing about one is the name One. It's been designed to be used as a lubricant for everything, multi-purpose, safe for everything from AGs to HPA, and that's the whole premise. That is why One is so special. It's not the pen that makes it special, it's the actual compound itself. But what I think I'm going to do, and it's not because he got all these fans to start trying to attack me and send me fake reviews. I'm probably just going to change. We can change the compound. Maybe we'll go for a completely different colour and leave the pink ones, because they are for sale on the website right now as a limited edition for those that buy off the first batch. So, but anyway, I digress. Sorry to go on. We can get our 1 pen. We turn it. We get a little bit of grease out the top there. And oh, look how nice and easy that is. And this grease, since trialing most compounds that are available out there, started working with a company in the UK. Only a small company, but we've been able to make this available to you guys as well. So we can pop that on there. Just pop the grease around. And that's it fitted to that. What else do we need? We need the nozzle, and we've got the nozzle spring there as well. So this can go in. What we'll do, seems like I'm under attack from everybody at the moment. My MDR review prompted some threats of legal action, but that will become an upcoming video which will make you guys laugh your heads off. So, got that fitted. To anyone that doesn't follow along to the rest of my videos, I do apologise. I've probably just gone off on a bit of a tangent there. We'll leave these loose at the moment. We've got the standard thing, we've got the standard spring here. Let's pop one of these spacers on. Why not? These are just cow spacers. And I'm reusing a lot of the old parts here because I had them available, so I'll be able to get some nice spicy bits in the post, hopefully. That's a standard bolt which I was going to use, which this is a hell of a lot lighter. I had pretty much everything. I got this from the last part, which I don't have the mounting screw, which might be a pain, so we might have to rob some parts off this just until I can get some replacements in the post. So what we'll do, we do need that and the screw. So this is where you'd be putting your standard parts in. Can go in there. But you know, I do waffle on these videos and I do apologise for it, but if you would like to support the channel, then head over to the website where you can pick one of these pens up. You can see in this video obviously how useful this thing is. Superb. And it only ever dispenses a tiny amount, so you're not wasting any. Let's get this nice and lubricated. And when I'm filming this, it's actually Pancake Tuesday. I think this video is probably going to go out tomorrow, maybe. So I hope you're eating lots of pancakes. Oh, beautiful. So that's ready to go. We need to pull the iron sight off to get the bolt in, of course. So let's get a little flathead. Pull that screw off there. Once we've pulled that off, we'll need to pull the iron sight off as well. These aren't tight, which is nice. And of course, with any type of oh, it's got a good seal on there. With any type of parts like this, you always want to run them in before going to any type of event, whether you shoot, you know, targets, whether you shoot, you know, skirmishing, milsim, anything like that. Anything new build like this, it's always good to give it a bit of a running period first. Iron out the kinks or the burrs, as we normally say. Because last thing you want to do is build like a new thing like this, head to your game, and then you've just either forgot to do something or there's just a burr that needed running in on the pistol. Just going to set that all the way down to the bottom for now. Oh, that looks nice with the gold. I tell you what as well, that runs so much smoother than this CTM one. It probably doesn't come across on video, but it is, oh, it's just really loose and a bit grindy. Where this, very cool indeed. Let's do a fitment check. Let's get it on here. Oh. So imagine that, obviously without this. That's a really cool snub nose looking pistol. Oh, I've got it on full auto, dumbass. Let's knock it over to semi-auto. I was like, why is the trigger not working? Okay. Would be nice if the trigger matched that of the gold, but this is a really nice kit. Let's get some air in the old line and give it a test through. Got a tank. Ugh. See what we're running at. This tank is low. It's only got about 500 psi in it. Maybe a bit more, 600. And we are running at 80 psi. So because of the infinite kit, we can fire it without a magazine in here. We always have to remember to cock it first. And let's see. Wow, it's really snappy, even with just that one little buffer on. Obviously all the springs are standard, and the nozzle seems to be working pretty well. Let's try a burst of auto. It's not what this kit's going to be used for my personal use, but everybody likes a fun switch. Oh. And that nozzle seems to be working really well, actually. There's a few people that have said that the Coco nozzles aren't very good, but that is how to install your mini Mamba kit for the AAP-01. And the whole idea of me having this was that I can run this. I'll have a short barrel. I might have to turn the PSI up on the tank to get a bit more power out of it, but that's the adjustability that the infinite kit gives me. So I'll have this as a bit of a snub nose. This will probably be my go-to upper if I'm running it as a secondary. But then let's say I'm doing a bit of CQB, or I'm in an environment where I can just run a pistol, because sometimes you do benefit from that. I can pop this off here, go to my long upper, which is so loosely fitting. Dear. You can just tell the quality. This thing, this upper, is mounds better quality than this. And believe it or not, this was cheaper. That was like £120, £40, probably like another 10 or 20, I can't quite remember. That's a lot of money. I think this was like 90 something pound on WGC, so I do recommend shopping with them. I've bought a lot of things off them now, and they are pretty damn reliable, and the shipping is quite quick. The only thing that slowed it down was UPS one in there, you know, idiot taxis. But we could take this off here. Have we got anything to put on the front end? This obviously needs, this does need modification, this suppressor, but to get rid of the gap that's there. But you know, if we wanted to run a suppressor, be all assassin-esque. And yeah, I probably won't run it like that. I bought the mini upper because I wanted it to be short and out of the way. What would be cool is if they do release like a little, I mean, it does look like they've got a bevel there. What would be cool is if they release like a little compensator for it. That would be nice. We still have the standard bits, which I did buy the little snubby barrel for that as well. I don't know, what part do you think we should try next? This has been the Mini Mamba upper from TTI Airsoft, and so far this has probably been one of the highest quality external parts for the AAP so far. I highly recommend this. It's very high quality, and you know, it's got like the 202 LR markings on there. I do like it, and you know, I could always put a red dot on there if I wanted to. Thanks for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below whether you like the mini Mamba upper, or whether you're more of a fan of this like sort of racy style setup. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll probably do another video once I've sorted the barrel out, and we can get a look at what this thing actually looks like without that barrel sticking out the end there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video. And if you haven't already, go buy a 1 pen from jaegerprecision.co.uk.